Welcome to English Vibes.
Welcome to the deep dive. If you're anything like us, you probably appreciate a good shortcut.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it leads somewhere useful quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And today we're doing a really practical deep dive. We're looking at a language learning source, one that's designed specifically, it seems, to give new English speakers the fastest path to, well, clear and confident communication.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just learning English here. We're actually analyzing the strategy behind a particular training guide.
That's the key thing, yeah. We're not, teaching the class ourselves. We're sort of looking at the syllabus, grading it almost.
Right.
Our mission today is to figure out why this specific source picked, well, these 5 grammatical sticking points and this one core area of vocabulary.
Okay.
Because for you, the learner, these are what we'd call high-impact errors. You fix these. You sound, honestly, significantly more fluent almost right away.
Overnight, practically.
Pretty much. The aim here is clarity, utility. Cut down the time spent on obscure rules and really zoom in on the mistakes that, let's face it, trip up maybe 90% of beginners.
It's all about efficiency then. We want you to stop, wasting that mental energy on stuff that doesn't really move the needle on fluency.
Exactly.
So we boiled down this material into 5 main areas. There's the S problem.
Oh, the classic S.
Yeah. Then how to actually use those helper verbs, the auxiliaries, for questions correctly, fixing how you talk about the past tense.
Crucial for storytelling.
Definitely. Then the role of articles, those little words like a, and.
They. Often overlooked, but so important.
And finally, the essential vocabulary for your daily routine. This stuff kind of acts as the backbone for practicing all the grammar rules.
Yeah, it ties it all together. Okay, let's dive straight into that first big one. The mistake that probably, gives every new English speaker nightmares. The third-person singular trap.
We're talking about forgetting that tiny little S
Yeah.
when you're talking about he, she, or it. In the present tense, of course.
The S problem, it's fascinating because it seems so simple, right? Just one letter.
Yeah.
But leaving it off is such a dead giveaway that someone's not a native speaker. I mean, in lots of languages, verb conjugation is incredibly complex.
Right.
But in English, for the simple present tense, you basically just have to worry about this one S rule for he, she, and it.
Okay. And the source material really hammers this contrast. The common mistake, she liked coffee.
Yeah.
The fix? Simple. She likes coffee. I was a bit surprised the source puts so much emphasis on this one tiny letter.
Hmm?
Why? Why is the S strategically so important? Is it just like a formal grammar thing, or does it genuinely mess up communication?
Well, it's both auditory and structural. I think the source highlights it because it really sets the whole rhythm of the sentence, When you leave off the S, you're treating she or he the same way you treat I or we. And native English speakers, well, we're just really tuned into that difference. It's like a linguistic fingerprint.
I see.
So the practice examples the source gives, like, he liked pizza, and it works well. They're designed to build that immediate auditory muscle memory.
So you don't even have to consciously think about the rule eventually.
And exactly, it becomes automatic.
And, okay, this connects really nicely to the practical side.
Yeah.
The source doesn't just give you rules in isolation.
No, that wouldn't work.
It immediately links them to the most common context, right? Your daily life.
Precisely. You can't just talk grammar in a vacuum. And what's fascinating here is how strategically the guide weaves the grammar together with essential vocabulary, which is our second key area.
Right.
I mean, if you can't talk about your day, how are you going to practice the S rule? So the source gives you these, I think it's 8 core verbs. They're really the foundation of talking about your daily routine. Yeah, these are the verbs you're going to use constantly. If you're listening, really try to lock these in. Wake up, brush my teeth, take a shower, get dressed, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, and go to bed. They're the building blocks of narrative, really.
Totally.
And the beauty of teaching them this way, starting out, is you can instantly use them with I. And there are no tricky rules there.
All right.
I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth and take a shower, I go to work at 9. Look at that. You've already built a whole little story, a sequence, using just those basic phrases, no complicated grammar yet.
But then the source quickly circles back, doesn't it? It tests as if you can actually use that new vocabulary while remembering the first rule, the S.
The challenge.
You have to immediately see the difference between the correct way she goes to work every day and that common beginner mistake. She go to work every day.
Right. It forces you to put the vocabulary and the grammar structure together. Synthesis.
It's a smart way to reinforce it, definitely.
Very effective. Okay, so once you can make a clear statement about what happens every day, The next big structural hurdle is turning that into a question.
Ah, yes, yes.
And here's where the material gets really strategic again. This is our third core error. Leaving out the helper verbs, the auxiliaries do or does when you ask a question. Yeah, this is a big one.
It's a very specific English structure thing, isn't it? It really throws off speakers whose native languages don't use auxiliaries like this.
Completely. That auxiliary verb, do or does, it's like the structural scaffolding for the question in English. It does a heavy lifting, carries a tense, signals who you're talking about.
Okay.
The mistake beginners make is just trying to use the statement structure, but like with a questioning tone.
Right. Like, she liked coffee.
Yeah.
Exactly. But English needs that extra structural verb to kick off the question.
No.
Does she like coffee? I noticed the guy didn't just explain the rule. It spent quite a bit of time on the short answers, too. Like, yes, I do. Or, no, he doesn't. Why focus so much on those little answers? Seems like a detail.
Ah, but that's pure efficiency. It's for conversational flow. Think about it. When you answer, do you like coffee, with yes, I do, you're reinforcing that auxiliary structure without needing to repeat the whole sentence.
I see. Keeps it snappy.
It feels natural. It sounds fluent. It's an instant signal that you've got a handle on the structure, the little practice conversation they provide. Yeah, the one like, do you wake up early? Yes, I do.
Right.
Does your friend wake up early? No, he doesn't. That little exchange shows you how these small auxiliary words are basically the glue holding simple conversations together.
Makes the back and forth much smoother, much quicker.
Exactly. Smooth and efficient.
Okay. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, once you can talk about what happens now and you can ask basic questions about it, well, naturally you'll want to tell a story about what happened before now, yesterday, last week.
Storytelling time. And that brings us neatly to mistake number 4, using the wrong verb tense for the past.
Right.
Telling stories means using the past tense. And for beginners, let's be honest, the past tense in English can feel a bit like panic mode.
Especially with all the irregular verbs.
Totally. The common mistake is just trying to apply the present tense logic across the board, like saying, yesterday I go to school.
Instead of recalling the correct, often irregular form, yesterday I went to school. That requires instant recall. You know, the source material was really clever here. I like this part. It didn't just throw a random list of irregular verbs at you.
No, that would be overwhelming.
It specifically linked the key past tense verbs back to those 8 core daily routine words we already learned.
Yes, that's genius efficiency, isn't it? They pinpointed the essential irregular verbs you absolutely need to talk about your day. You just can't avoid them.
Which ones were they again? The guide really insists on memorizing these super high-frequency ones. Go changes to went. Eat becomes ate. Wake up transforms to woke up. Come turns into came. And do becomes did. Just those 5.
Master those 5 irregular past tense forms, and you can basically narrate your entire previous day.
Wow. That really simplifies it. And that transformation is key to actually telling a story, right? Having narrative power. Absolutely. Look how quickly those 5 verbs let you build a simple past narrative, like in the practice sentences. Yesterday, I woke up early. I ate breakfast at home. I went to work. I came home at night. Boom. You've got a complete, coherent little story about your past day. Simple, but effective.
Exactly. Okay, let's move to our final critical error, the 5th one. Leaving out the articles, those tiny words, a and a, or the articles, the bane of many learners' existence.
Yeah, because they either don't exist in their native language or they work completely differently.
Right. And omitting them, well, it's where a sort of conceptual fuzziness can creep into your communication. English really relies on these articles to signal if we're talking about one specific thing or just a general category.
Can you give that example from the source again?
Sure.
The guide uses the simple error, I have cat. Now, when you say it like that, without a day, you're almost treating cat like water or sand, an uncountable substance, instead of an individual animal you could count.
Precisely. So adding the I have a cat is essential. It marks the cat as a single countable thing. It signals definiteness or indefiniteness, a job that other languages might handle with different grammar.
Okay, so it's about classifying things correctly in English. That's a good way to put it. The training material here focuses on those subtle but really necessary rules. Use ACE part for general, singular, countable things. Switch to an in just for the sound, right? When the next word starts with a vowel sound, she has an apple.
Right.
And then you save the for when something is unique, like the sun is bright, or specific, like the car I saw yesterday. Getting these right shows you understand how English kind of frames nouns.
This is why this deep dive is so useful, I think. We're getting these 5 really essential fixes, plus the vocabulary to actually practice them with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's tie all 5 of these lessons together now. The guide's final consolidated paragraph, it really serves as proof, doesn't it, that if you master these specific high-impact errors, you get to fluency much faster. Yeah, that final exercise is basically the application test. It pulls together all the routine vocabulary.
Okay.
It makes sure you're applying the S rule correctly or not applying it when you use I. It checks that the articles are in place, and it lets the learner build a pretty solid, natural-sounding daily narrative. Okay, listen to the difference here. This smooth, natural flow, it's totally achievable just by focusing on those 5 corrections and those 8 core routine verbs. I wake up at 7, simple present, I form, no S needed.
Correct.
I brush my teeth and take a shower. I eat breakfast with my family. I go to work at 9. I come home at 6. I eat dinner and go to bed at 10.
See, that sequence, it's totally functional, it's grammatically spot on for beginner focus, and it's all about high utility, everyday conversation.
So what does this all mean for you listening? We've just analyzed a really efficient language guide. We've broken down those 5 almost universal beginner grammar traps. The S, the auxiliaries, the past tense, the articles, and, well, not having the basic daily words.
And we've given you the exact fixes that this source material recommends. And I think the core philosophical points from this material are really what drive the progress. They're simple but powerful. First, mistakes are not bad. They are teachers.
I like that.
Yeah, they show you exactly where you need to focus your energy. It's not failure, it's just getting data, feedback.
Right. And the second one, practice makes progress. Not perfect, notice, but progress. Targeted practice is absolutely the key to turning these grammar rules from things you think about into things you just do. Habits. And that really is the heart of the deep dive, isn't it? Finding that efficiency. So since this whole approach is designed to lead you directly to natural and smooth English, here's a final thought to consider.
Okay.
How quickly could your confidence actually change if you adopt this source material strategy? Don't try to boil the ocean. Don't try to learn every single English rule right now.
Yeah, that's overwhelming. Instead, maybe just take those 8 routine vocabulary phrases we talked about right now, today. Commit to applying the S rule when you describe, say, a friend's daily routine. And make sure you use the correct irregular past tense for maybe just the last meal you ate.
Focus on that immediate practical application. Exactly. Focus on that. So the question for you is, what story, even a tiny one, are you going to practice telling today using these critical, high-impact pieces of knowledge?